not to go live, but follow on the Lash Out Fam page.
And then remember, when I
Uh,
go live, you gotta
go off our
share.
page for the live.
Yeah, you share it to your
You got
page.
to
Go
share
to
that
my
out right
page.
there.
Yeah, share the live to your page or share it to whatever, All right, and we are about to go on air. Three, two, one. Welcome to Real Life Topics Podcast, guys. You already know what time it is. It's your girl, Stephanie Scott's Child. Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. Guys, you already know what time it is. It's 7 p.m. Thursday night. Another exclusive interview on deck. It can't get no better than this. Lash Out fam is in the building. I've been waiting for this day. I've been waiting for this day. How is everything going for you guys?
Oh, everything is good. We here. We still managing and we present. So everything is good. Alhamdulillah.
Okay, so if you guys are not familiar with Lash Out Fam, and of course, the CEO, co-founder of Lash Out Fam, of course, Stephanie's Godchild is here to tell you who he is. Anthony Lash, better known as Mr. Lash, born and raised in Chicago, Inglewood, an entrepreneur, an author, a mentor, a community advocate, the co-founder, alongside with his brother Charles Moss, who helps lead Lash Out Fam, was founded and principle of Lash, which stands for Loving and Saving Humanity. Lash Out Fam stands for Loving and Saving Humanity. The mission is centered on unity, teamwork for all mankind, promoting the belief that communities are strengthened with people coming together to support, uplift, and empower. Anthony Lash is also the director of operations for Ledge of Hope Foundation, where he works stability, opportunity, workforce development, mentorship, and community empowerment. Real Life Topics Podcast, Biggs Radio, and iGlobal Radio Network. Please welcome the co-founder of Lash Out Fam, Mr. Anthony Lash is in the building. Woo! Welcome,
That
welcome,
was.
and welcome. Welcome.
Thank
It's
you,
been a
thank you.
long
That was
time
very
coming.
gracious.
Yes. If you could
Very
tell Biggs
gracious.
Radio, if you could, Mr. Anthony Lash, if you could tell Biggs Radio and iGlobal Radio Network audience in your own definition, who is Anthony Lash?
Anthony Lash is a melanated individual who in life is finding his way just like everyone else. Looking to be, an impact as much as possible. Uh, Driven, dedicated to what I believe in. I'm an all around individual. Very open, very approachable. That's Mr. Lash.
Yes. Well, welcome, Mr. Lash. Welcome, Mr. Lash. Mr. Lash, you
Thank you.
have company with you because you're not just the only one a part of Lash Out Fam family. We have the CEO in the building of Lash Out Fam.
No, so you have right here to my immediate left, we have the president, which is PJP, Prince Jalen Perkins. He's the president, Lash Out Fam. And then we have the head boss, Tory Dukes. He's the best thing smoking. Y'all better get up on Tory Dukes. But this is part of the team. And the CEO, Mr. Charles Know it. He couldn't be here right now. He's at work, but he's here in.
Break it up a little bit. Can you hear me? You're breaking up just a little
Yeah,
bit.
we hear
Shout
you.
out to me. shout out to Miss Kimberly Patterson for tuning in and Unapologetic Noble. What's good, guys? Thank you for tuning in. And everybody all over the world that's listening online or on Facebook, StreamYard, wherever you guys at. Thank you guys for tuning in to Real Life Topics Podcast. But yes, you said you had Tory Dukes and the president in the building. And of course, guys, a lot of you guys are not visual. You're
Yes.
listening on air. Tory Dukes and the president of Lash Out Fam are young men, straight up young men. So, could you please, Mr. Tory Dukes, tell Real Life Topics Podcast, Biggs Radio, Global Radio audience, who is Tory Dukes?
Tory Deuce, just a young 22-year-old from Chicago, trying to make it, trying to not focus on too much of the negative in life. Even though I'm surrounded by the negative in my life, I've always been surrounded by negative energy, but it's it's my power to make something better out of it. Make something worthwhile where I don't have to go outside and, be worried or fearful for my life.
And so when you're rapping, those you are a rap artist, by the way, if you guys didn't know, he is one of the number one youth rap artists out of Chicago. His name is Tory Dukes, and he's 22 years old. And like he said, what's very important is he raps about positivity. It keeps him out the way of the lion, tigers, and bears that's going on in Chicago. And then we also have the president of Lash Out
Mhm.
Fam. Could you please tell people who is the president
JP.
of Lash Out Fam?
Hey, how you doing? Well, the president of Lash Out Fam is a 17-year-old youthful artist straight out of Chicago. Really just trying to path a better way for the youth that's my age, some that's older than me, and especially the ones that's under me. To piggyback off of what Tori Duke said a little bit, cultivating that negative energy into something positive that the world can see. Just sharing my light with everyone.
And that's what's up. That's Lash Out Fam is very inspirational in my opinion. I mean, it's not too many young men out here that are in recognition that things have to change and things have to be positive. Positivity is the key. So I'm going to go back to the co-founder of Lash Out Fam, Mr.
All
Anthony
right. Hey,
Lash.
Stephanie. So Stephanie. Um, just a small correction. I'm actually the founder, and my brother is the CEO with me. So, just to give you a little backstory on that founder situation, um, I I don't know if you know, but I did 23 years incarcerated, right? And while I was incarcerated, making a transformation mentally, a lot of ideas I had, I was cultivating a lot of different ideas, and one of the ideas I cultivated was to have the music where everyone can enjoy it. I had a vision where not only can your grandmama listen to the rap music or the music that's being portrayed, but your kid can listen to it. So when my son came and asked, man, I want to be a rapper, I want to be down with the movement, and we decided to do this, this was already in my head from when I was in prison. I had already had these ideas and these goals set down, and when he came to me and we started Lash Out Fam, my brother and I already had the foundation in place. So I just needed a willful partner, and my brother was that. So we teamed up with my idea and made it our idea, so our vision can become the world's.
Your vision can become the world. One thing that was interesting to me about Lash Out Fam, the what it stands for, and it's loving and saving humanity. Where did you come up with that definition of Lash Out Fam from? What
Well,
made
I
you
have to be
come up with
honest
that
about.
title?
Okay, it's two things. So to be honest with you, so Lash obviously is my last name, right? So that's something we kind of played on, right? The Lash. But in sitting down with my DJ, Mr. Muhammad, uh, and Tory Dukes, CEO Know It, and President PJP, we all sat down and we was trying to make something meaningful. We needed Lash Out Fam to be more than just a musical saying a musical instrument. So we wanted to be be meaningful. So we sat down and talked about the characteristics we all have as an organization, as a LLC, and individually, and what we want to see in the music, what we want to see in our communities. So that's what we end up coming up with. And my DJ was very instrumental. DJ Mr. Muhammad, shout out to Muhammad, man. You was very instrumental in us coining that loving and saving humanity on unity, teamwork for all mankind, because that's just what we're doing.
That's exactly what you are doing. Your life also
Yeah,
stands for, because I was doing a lot of research on your biography, and your life also stands for proof that no matter how difficult the journey, hope, purpose, and positive change remains possible. That is very important. So I'm truly honored to interview you, Anthony Lash, because it is a drought on these type of programs, these type of advocacy, especially for the youth is our future. So I'm honored, and I'm glad that you came up with this brilliant idea to jump everyone on the bandwagon of positivity. And what an honor for the youth to even want to be on board, to stay out the way from violence, because of course you stand for no violence as well, correct?
absolutely. And they dope. They ain't just no MCs that's no cookie cutter rappers. These guys dope. They have content and the meaning. And you'll see soon. We are restructuring our brand and how we deliver our music, because we've been taken advantage of on streaming platforms. So we're gonna go direct to consumers, and we got a big campaign going on soon. You'll be privy to the knowledge.
Yes, yes, for sure. I'm again. It's when you guys are on stage, I was checking out a lot of footage and a lot of things, and I mean, the music is so good and it's positive. Some people don't even realize that positive, good music exists. Positivity, good music exists. Some people so used to all
Yes.
that negativity that they don't even realize or even open up their mind to know that, hey, good music is really into speaking positivity and things that can help you grow and develop, especially as youth. So
Yes.
that is that's
Yes.
a
and,
really
and,
good
and
thing.
Yeah, and growth and development in the youth is essential, especially in their development. When my son came to me very young, like I said, and when he said he wanted to be a part of the movement, he was really young. And his first songs was like 4, 5 years old, and it was called "You Ain't No Op." So that was part of his development, understanding society, what's going on in society at a very young age, and how you navigate the pitfalls that has been set up for especially melanated people. So having people around to mentor the youth and guide them, and it's not there to tell us a youth what to do, or it's there to guide them, be there alongside them. So when they have questions, when they need someone to lean on during those tough times, that's where that guidance come in, allowing them to grow through those particular situations that they encompass.
It's Black Music Month. So what other way to have really good black music? What do you call it? Melanated skin. What did you just call the skin?
I call us melanated because that's true. We melanated. They labeled us with a lot of different things, but we go deep to figure out who we really are. And once your eyes are open, you can never be closed. So we're melanated.
Well, shout out to Black Music Month. What other way to end Black Music Month with black music, positive black music, even for the youth? I wanted to jump
Yes.
into a little bit of the topic, because the topic of today, and maybe even the youth can join into this topic. Why do you think it's important for youth growth and development?
It's essential. Primarily is the youth is the one who's going to guide the future. The youth are those that they're the ones who's going to shape how this future is going to be, and we have to we have to pour into them. See, just like if you take example the youth, the teen takeovers. I have a different take on that. When I first seen it, the very first time it happened, I saw something different. People saw all teens out of control, parents not in control. They just wow. But I saw something different. I saw teams looking for an outlet, teams looking for guidance,
Mhm.
teams looking for something positive to do. And when you don't give them those things, that's the result. But what more importantly, what I saw is a bunch of teams organizing. Organizing. See, people look at the negatives for cars turned over, but the situation is created by the environment in which we are in. So I saw that as an opportunity to galvanize those teams, to say, look, man, look, y'all have power. Y'all can use that power to shape tomorrow. Y'all have it in y'all hands right now. Because look what they're doing. They're trying to make laws right now to come against those teams. So we have to, as a community, we have to love on our youth. We have to be the ones that pour into them and allow them to grow and develop and be themselves, not dictate anything. They deserve respect like everyone else. Just like I tell my kids deserve respect. I respect them just as much as I respect the next person. And so if we take those things into account and start really pointing to kids that way with respect and really listening to them, we'll get results. So it's growth and development is essential. It's essential that we pour into our kids that way, allowing them to be who they are, and because they're going to take over the future.
The views that we express on Biggs Radio Chicago are not those of Biggs Radio, its subsidiaries, affiliates, and or sponsors. But yes, Anthony, youth growth and development is. I would like to talk to Tori and the president, because I just want to hear what is their opinion about how important it is for youth to be on positivity.
Go T.
the the importance of me personally, I feel like the adults, the grown ups, if you don't have a stabilized foundation, the kids are just gonna run wild, 24/7. You can look back a couple years ago. You see kids out of school, they've shut down like all after school activities. Without
Mhm.
after school activities, now you have the youth going crazy. Now it's an uprising of looting and everything going on downtown and everything. Now in our city, what I believe in, since we, as they call, like to label it, the hood, our adults, if we don't have that stabilized foundation, our youth are just going to become the next monsters of tomorrow.
And
Mhm.
let me pick back on what Deuce is saying, because this is a conversation we have all the time. What he essentially what he's saying in a nutshell is everywhere youth go, there are adults, right? And adults are supposed to be the ones that provide the safe space for the children, provide the guidance, the shelter in all ways, in all capacity. That is an adult responsibility to shelter our children in a way where we cover them from the mess. And what he's saying is that's not happening. The adults are really more childish than the actual kid. The adults are the ones that's allowing things to go to levels of immaturity,
Kids
and
raising kids.
I deem it a epidemic of emotional irregulation, a devoid of emotional regulation. And so our kids can't grow and develop in an environment where the parents and adults figures are unregulated. And how can we grow and develop them if we are not growing and develop ourselves? It's like the blind leading the blind. So the,
Yes,
the
yes.
kids the kids go look for their own options, just like back in the 60s, just like back in the 70s. But the difference is now with technology, these kids are in a position to actually run the world.
Yes,
They
they
just
are.
need the guidance.
Yes, because they are our future. The children are our future. And like you said, Anthony and Tori, the parents are not leading by example nowadays. It's a part of the problem instead of a part of the solution. We can talk about the solutions all we want to, but if we're as parents if we're not leading by example, this is what's disbobulating the children. So that's a good one. President, the president. No, you're probably not the youngest out of in the Lash out fam group, are you? But you are the
No.
We
youngest when
got
it
two
comes.
more. We got no, we got Shot Vegas and we got King CJ. So we got two 10-year-olds.
Okay. Shout out to the youth on positivity. But the president is 17. You're
Yes.
17? The president is
Yes.
17. The president ain't even out of high school yet. Not even out of high school. And the president know the gist of the things of importance in life. And that's youth growth and development. Could you tell your experience and why you decided to make sure that you feel like the youth needs this?
Definitely. I feel like the youth needs positivity because like it's stated and it's known that the youth is tomorrow's future. So we have to be positive because you got to think about it. We're becoming the next doctors, lawyers, nurses, all of these things that are essential to life in itself. So for I feel for society to be on one with each other, we have to be in a higher vibrational state to really understand each other, where we're coming from, because there's a lot of things that go on throughout life day to day. If we're not emotionally stable, certain things are very easily triggerable, and we just need to be positive so we can lean on one another on each other. We can lean on each other in hard times.
For sure, for sure. Youth growth and development is really important, and I am so glad. I am so glad that you guys are here to make a change. Shout out to Lash Out Fam. Shout out to the co-founder, the founder, the leader, one of the leaders anyway, because there's plenty of leaders of Lash Out Fam. And then you
That's
also
right.
have the Lash Out. You have a whole Lash Out Fam family, like you said. The two youngest ones are 10 years old, and you have the Lash Out Fam girls, the ladies, the women of Lash Out Fam, and so this whole foundation is a great foundation for our future. And I want to thank you, Anthony, for even coming up with this whole thing, saving humanity. It's crazy.
No,
What?
sister, it's a pleasure, sister. It's something that's dear and close to my heart because, as I told you, I understand the youth. I understand the youth, and in order to be a suggestion or anything, you have to be able to relate. It's not a dictation. It's about exploring and opening them up to possibilities, showing them who they are. A lot of times, these children don't even know who they are because traditionally they've been passed down something they're not aware of. Their parents didn't know, and it's no fault of no one's. We just didn't know. But when you know, you have a responsibility to educate and lead.
Yes, and like you said, most have been programmed into this negativity. So, and the biggest influence on negativity is music. This is why music is important. Music is one of the number one things when it comes to your feelings getting hurt when you're in love. You press that play on that love song. Music is really important. So, and rap is one of the biggest genres of music nowadays, and it's the biggest for the youth because that's what's
Yes,
trending, rapping. So, for to be aware is to, of course, is to be alive, but it's an honor for the youth that's a part of Lash Out Fam to recognize that, hey, we got to make a difference. We got to push this agenda of positivity. We cannot get caught up in this same circle and this same, because the youth is getting worse. And
yes.
like
Well,
Tori said, the youth is actually worse off because the adults are not being adulting today. They're not doing what they're supposed to do as adults.
but I will caution to say that the youth are getting worse. What I would say is the portrayal of what society says is
Hmm.
happening.
Hmm.
Because is imagery. Imagery is everything. You think about that. Imagery is everything. Why do they show you images daily? So it can become part of your conscious. So if you seeing a clip all day long of one clip of a black man doing something to another black man or a melanated man, then that becomes the reality of what you see, right? So we have to be cautious on how we talk about our youth and in each other
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
they would demonize us, but they're part of the reason why this is happening. They're
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
infiltration of our youth. So it's important that I'm close to the youth. I lost my life as a youth, to prison, so I stand up for the youth. I stand with the youth because they need the voice. They need people to understand what they're going through. They need people to walk that walk with them. And sometimes the music, even if you go back to the drill, I told Dukes used to do a little wild music, but I told him, I say, man, if you're gonna be a part of Lash Out Fam, we have to be who we say we are. And the music, if you vibrate, and the frequencies of music has always been important. Even our ancestors, think about it. Before
Mm-hmm.
they wasn't even saying nothing, they was using music frequencies to heal and dance, and that vibration carried a meaning. And so music, especially for us, has been always a staple in how we move and how we create. So having the youth being able to express themselves through the music is essential. But being able to put that stuff out there on the airways where people are listening, where you can influence minds, like back in the day when we heard certain songs. I remember when I heard Easy E and them back in the day. I remember those, but I also remember Curtis Blow and them. I remember the breaks. I remember these type of things. So music is what we make it. And my thing is, I told my team, we're gonna be the reason why the music can be listened to for generations, through generations. So that's our aim, is loving and saving humanity on unity, teamwork for all mankind. And it's just not musical. It's about bringing that to our community. We volunteer for shows every year for mothers who lost their lives against gun violence. We often do a show for them yearly. And so we're part of that fabric of the music scene. We're part of our community. I've been part of the community for as long as I can remember, and this is where we're going. This is what's going to be successful, and this is the route everyone eventually is going to lean to, because the drill scene is over with. No one wants to hear that anymore. It was very articulate. It served its purpose to allow rappers to get in the door and feed their families. But now you have to think about your community that we're
Mm-hmm.
destroying. And that's what I
Yes.
told my sons. That's what I tell all my artists.
Yes, yes, for sure. How important do you think mentorship is for them, for the youth as well? How important do you think mentorship is overall? Because of course you are a mentor. That's a part of your of Lash Out Fam. How important do you think that is for mentorship?
Mentorship is very important. You got to think about, for those who don't have the either girl or boy, female or male. If you don't have that example around you, and you didn't come up around that example in the house, then you need someone. Even myself today, I have a mentor. So you
Hmm.
need a mentor to help guide you through every step of life. Someone's did something and been in a place that you haven't. So you're about to step into something that someone else has been in. And then it's not about telling you don't do this or don't do yet. It's just about being a guide, being an assistant, being there to say, man, it's all right. Pick your head up. You doing well. Keep fighting. You got someone. So that's what mentorship is, very important. I call particular people to get advice and to lean
Hmm.
on. And even during my tough mental times, I have people that I lean on, so that I consider my mentors. So and I came into the game as a mentor. I came into social service as a mentor for Teamwork Inglewood. Volunteering my time. I learned how to be that under Michael Titmore. I learned how to be a mentor. I learned how to be a youth advocate under him. I learned how to speak up for the youth and for myself. So it's very important that we have mentors through all capacities of life. You have that billionaire who has someone he leans on. So we all need mentorship. It's a very important in bridging from one step to another in our life.
Yes, for sure, for sure. What's coming up next for Lash Out Fam?
It's too much to name. We working diligently on a lot of different things. We rebranded. We have our clothing line rebranded coming out. We have a special Chicago brand that we're gonna be pushing. Teaming up with the non for profit. We're gonna be having our T-shirts out and giving some proceeds to some of the non-violent organizations, starting with Ledge of Hope Foundation, who is the organization I work for. So we're gonna be teaming up with Ledge of Hope Foundation, and doing some things with our brand, with our T-shirts, with our varsity jackets, with clothing. We have a lot of things whipped up, ready for society and for our communities. We just want people to support a positive vibe. We just want you all to support positivity, and they work hard. They work hard in the studio daily on their music content, and we don't put stuff out because we want to make sure the things we're doing is going to be in a great order. So when you seeing us this next few months, it's just all about rolling out branding. We still have the blackout concert coming up where we're going to be all blackout, and you all invited. You probably can come and go live from there. So you invited. You'll be privy to the information soon.
Yes. Lash Out fam. Lash Out. I forgot my train of thought. Lash Out fam. Of course, the music. You got music. You got a clothing line. You guys perform places. Are you guys looking, or are you guys welcoming young artists that are artists, rap artists that are rapping about positivity?
Always we welcome that. We have a few other that the president is he has a few artists under him that he's developing, and when I say developing, I mean it's a culture that we have, and when I say developing, I'm referring to the culture that we have. It's a culture that I believe that has anything to do with monetary stuff. It's a culture that has more so to do with how you live your life, how you treat each other. So yeah, we have some artists, and in fact, we've been doing shows for the last few years throughout the city, and a lot of artists that mess with us is because we gave them a platform, and to do their shows. We didn't charge no one. We did wherever platform we had, we opened it up for the city because I believe in collaboration. I love the city all music because I may not listen to all music, but I love all music if that makes sense. So
Mm-hmm.
we invite especially the youth. We got some people on the west side, Liddy Gang. Shout out to Solo from the Heights. Shout out to Jared the drummer. Shout out to Vonda B. I mean, the list goes on. We have She Vibe. Shout out to all huh? Masani. Shout out to Masani. We have a whole list, and if I forgot you, please don't charge it. Don't charge it to me. I just can't remember right now. It's so many people that we have graced the stage with. And so yes, that's something that we do, and that's actually something we're gonna be bringing back this summer. And pretty soon we're gonna be opening up our outside gardening series. So we have a outside gardening series in the stage we built. I mean, it's a dope private location. You'll be able to, for those who drink or whatever you do, you'll be able to do that there, and it's secure and it's in fun. It ain't no BS. It's a place you kick back. So we're gonna be having that probably once a week coming up in this summer. You're gonna be able to see PJP, Tory Duke, some more of our artists. Anybody else want to come grace that stage there? Be more than welcome. Perhaps real life topic could come do a show out there.
For sure, for sure, for sure. Shout out to all the listeners. Biggs Radio Chicago has 1.8 million listeners over the world.
Wow,
Germany
wow.
is listening to us right now. We are international right now. We got Atlanta in the building, Tennessee, Chicago. People from all over the world are checking out Lash Out Fam, Mr. Tory Deuce for President, and Anthony. They are in the building, guys. And of course, we are discussing the importance of youth growth and development. It's Black Music Month, and what other way to have Black music positive? Black music in the building. I'm just saying, guys, I am so honored for you guys to be here. And Tory and the president, I hate to keep going, but I just want you guys to give the youth food for thought. If you have seen a someone that was struggling with positivity, and you can kind of see that they might just be not doing the right things, what would you say to them?
Well, I would say to always follow that feeling within, because integrity is key, and there's always someone watching, even if there's no one watching. So the integrity that you hold is key, and accountability too, because you get what you give. So if you're out doing negative things, that energy is gonna cycle back to you. So that's why positivity is key.
For sure.
Do.
I just want to elaborate on that. I say positivity is key. And as what the president said, if you always have that feeling inside you and somebody say, you know, you're not good enough or you don't have what it takes, at the end of the day, nobody will ever take that away from you. Nobody will ever take away the hunger that you have inside, that you're willing to not even just help the small handful of people, but uplift everybody in your community.
For sure. And the founder, Mr. Anthony Lash, what is your food for thought to give to everyone out there that's listening?
Um, Especially mainly geared towards the youth. I just want to say that the youth has the power, and if harnessed and galvanized in the correct way, you all really are the key to the change. You are really the key to our culture. You're really the key to turning this thing around in this society because without you there would be no future, man. And you have to believe in yourself. You have to know, look at that brother next to you and know he ain't a op, man. Um, I wish we knew those lyrics from the song we did probably about I don't know how many years ago. We never came out with the song, but it was called "You Ain't No Op," and just to give you a snippet, it wasn't something like guns in the way, guns in the way, can't have no fun in the day. I just want to say, my big brother today. But the idea behind the song was that, we're taking out each other. We knocking each other off. They don't need help. They don't need help. We doing it for them. And so the youth around me, I just want to encourage them to look at each other and uplift each other. Don't look at each other as opposites because something you definitely not. You guys are striving for the same goals in life. We're trying to accomplish the same things. And if you are those who oppose you on that climb are your opposition, not that brother just because he has that way, that color. No, we all the same, brother. We melanated in this joint together. So we gonna continue to support each other, and I will ask the youth if you need guidance, mentorship, reach out to Lash Out Fam, reach out to Anthony Lash, reach out to me, and we can put you in that position, brother. We're not about tearing our community down and our youth down. And once again, I'll go back to the team takeovers. We have to understand that is more than just a team takeover. We have to understand that what these teams are looking for is they're looking for an outlet. They're looking for guidance. They're not looking to be destructive. How the news is saying these things and framing these particular stories of our youth is insane. We have to be the one to intervene and say, man, let's love on these children. Let's step in and say, man, the solution ain't no doggone firing their parents and they parents. Some of the
Right,
parents
right.
don't know.
That's
So
insane to me. Make that make sense to find a parent for a teenager that's doing something that maybe. How about, like you said, come out with a program like Lash Out Fam or something. I mean, a mentorship program
they
for
can
this
come.
youth.
They can come talk to me. I have real solutions. But think about this, sisters. If you have to, real people have to want real solutions. You have to talk to the people where the stuff is going on. We're where it's going on. I grew up in it. I'm from Inglewood. I grew up in Inglewood. I grew up around the whole circumference. I grew up in it, around it, however you can frame it. I grew up in it, so I know what's going on. And because of my falls in life, because of my get ups in life, I'm in a position to speak how I speak. I can say for you because I was a youth and I know what they go through now. I raised a youth. I'm around the youth. I mentor the youth. So I can tell you that what they're proposing is not what we need. We need each other. We need the community to stand up and say, man, let's galvanize it. Let's organize the youth like we organize for marches and stuff, man. Let's organize.
Hmm.
We did a million man march. Organize a million team march. See, these are ideas that we can do and say, listen to these teams. Bring the teams up in the hood that we call gangbangers. Bring them in and say, man, this is what we need in order for us to stop what we're doing. We need stability. If the insecurities are stabilized, we can change it. The only thing you got to do is come talk to me.
Hmm. Hmm. Sunflower soul.
Hey,
I mean, well, at the end
welcome.
of the day, hi. I know I'm a apologize for my tardiness. But I do have input as far as, like you said, with getting the people who are quote unquote the leaders in our communities, which are not always maybe some of the best role models for the children. If you can talk to them and help them understand the impact that they have and the power that they have in the community to be able to change it to a better light, that's definitely something that I feel like you said, will be valuable to the community as well.
And you got to know everyone that steps up and say they're a leader in the community. There's no leaders. Leaders don't have to be boisterous. Leaders lead by example.
Mhm.
Leaders lead by example. So you will see who the leaders is, and you can't fool the youth. They're smart. They're smarter than we were back then because they're exposed to much more information. We was closed off. We was still in the psychological chuck hole that they had us in, and the youth is coming up out of there. They're seeing. They're actually getting downloads, and they're seeing what it really is in this matrix. So we have to cultivate that, and the real youth gonna see past the fake leadership. And I'm not saying nothing about no one. I'm just saying we know what our community look like, and we know there are leaders out there that just take advantage of saying who they are, we know there are leaders out there who just quietly leading by example, uplifting their community with the little things they do that matters the biggest though.
Yeah, but if we take those people who are not really making a big impact and really maybe help them understand, I mean, because a lot of the times it takes somebody from the outside looking in to kind of explain to you better, especially when you are being a part of the destruction of the community. You know what I mean? So sometimes it takes for people like you or us to get together and help them see the bigger picture of what they're really doing in order for us to be able to mend the broken pieces for us to get back together as a community.
And that's very true, sister. And I, a lot of friends of mine, I lift them up. That's actually doing that work, the real work like that. That's there for the youth, and that's really trying to understand that they have a voice and they can really make an impression on these kids. And so yeah, it's a lot of guys that's doing that. It's just the light don't get shined on them because the light is shining on the flashy things, right?
Mhm.
Well,
So we
it takes the ones who make the flashy things and help them
excuse me.
to understand their
And that's part of the
their
yes,
fault in the community, because a lot of them have arrested development, so a lot of them are still childlike in the mind as well.
Mhm.
yes,
Mhm.
Yeah,
and that's
so
true. And that's the challenge, though, sister. Sincerely, that's the challenge, and it's to and basically what you're saying is to bring people on one accord so we can all, make this happen. And I get that, and that is the challenge. And a person like me, I'm a person that brings people together, man. My whole life I've been that person. I led that way. I wasn't no person that was a leader by saying this and that, saying that. No, I just did my thing, and you saw the examples of what I did. For 23 years in prison, I studied, I went to school, I examined myself and try to figure out how did I end up there. I went through the gauntlet of things to make myself a better person and to really see who I was. And so now I'm at the point where, yes, my light, I want to shine it with everyone. If that brother has a solution, we all deserve to be in that circle. No one should be excluded in that circle because everyone opinion matters. Even if you don't agree with the whole circumstance and concept, we can come together in a think tank and to create circumstances that's ideal for our community, for our people, for the world, essentially.
but I think we're at the point to where we need to stop trying to patch up the holes and kind of just throw it all away and start over, because it's been so
Um,
corrupted throughout the years, and it's like we're steady trying to, that's just like a boat that has many holes in it, and when you patch up one hole, it still sinks. It still sinks. So sometimes you have to start over. You know what I mean? Clean slate. No pointing fingers, and actually just find a solution to the things that we are going through as a people.
And that go back to the leadership. If you implement and put something in place, and if it rings and if it significantly attracts people, then you will be able to do exactly what you're saying. And you don't have to announce anything. You can just quietly become the example, and then people will come into the fold, and that it grows, and that they grows in that matter without even have to tear anything down. You building, and so that's what we're doing, and that's what I want to be a part of. I'm not a part of tearing my people down. Uplifting and finding a solution and everything is what we have to do. If we're not looking for solutions, if I'm just looking to point the finger, then I'm part of the problem as well. So
Right.
we have to look at, okay, that brother has a platform. Maybe he's unaware. Let's try to talk to that brother. Say, do you know your platform does such and such? Now imagine if you utilize it for this, you can affect more people that way. So it's about conversation and sincere conversation with the people who's in those positions.
So what do you
Shout
think
out
about
to
the
Young
unity
Teasy.
movement?
Shout out to Young Teasy, the CEO of Quality Music Management in the building. And Mr. Derek Powell, he said, I love this conversation.
Yeah, what do you think about the
Shout
movement,
out
the
to
unity
everybody that's
movement in
watching.
Chicago?
Could
Can
you
you
say that
repeat that?
again, sister?
What do you think about the unity movement that they're beginning here in Chicago?
Um, anytime the word unity is involved, I'm with it. Because that's what we need, sister. It's not something that Queen Latifah just said back in the day. They meant that. That was a fabric of what was going to change us and keep us together. Unity was what's going to keep us together because we fighting divisive forces all around us from the day we born. Is targeted. So unity is what's going to keep us together. If I can go to my brother on the other side of the fence and say, man, let's shake hands, man. Let's bring your brothers. Let's bring my brothers, and let's unify. And if we can do that community by community, it don't matter. We all the same. No one is different, and no one in our community is exempt from what's going on. So unity is not only it's essential. I will call it a state of emergency. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we're in a state of emergency where we need unity.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
For
fact.
sure. That definitely is a fact. That definitely is a fact. Well,
I
I
mean,
want
even
to
in the
thank
word,
Pastor.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No,
Even in
you
the
go
word
ahead.
community, it's unity. You know what I mean? Community. We just come together to unify so that way we can be strong. I mean, because like they said, together we stand, divided we fall. And that's a big thing that is
That's
going on
right.
right now. It's a war that was put in place that we don't even know. Like it was an invisible force that kind of put us against each other. And I don't think we saw it coming, you know what I mean? But it's like we're here now. So we just need to figure out what to do to get back together and actually put the actions towards it. Because like you said, we could talk about a lot of things, but what actions are we doing as men and women to actually get back together to do these things? You're doing your part with Lash Out Fam. We're doing our part with the podcast, and everybody else needs to do their part, because if we all come together, it won't be an issue. We'll actually see the fruits of our labor.
Yes, for sure, for
Yes.
sure. Shout out to Miss Tanisha King. She said, I love this conversation. More of this will create unity with the youth. More men. Shout out, Miss
And
King.
thank you for that acknowledgement. And I want to give a shout out to my men and the men you all have had on this platform, especially with it being Men's Mental Health Month. So I thank you all. It's men, the presence of a man is really needed in our communities. And there are a lot of men. A shout out to Mr. Dad who's doing this thing. There are a lot of men in the community who's really standing up, being an example for our youth, and they don't get enough. They don't get enough shine. But we're going to continue to cultivate that environment. As a man, I love to represent, sit here with my son and my nephew, and sit here with the other youth that I mentor. That makes me feel good knowing that
Mhm.
I'm in a position to help shape someone else in a positive aspect.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I did so in a negative aspect at one point. So now, why not? What can we do in a spare time when children are out there doing what they want to do? What can we do in those spare times? We can step in and be men. We can step in and say, hey, little homie. We can step in and say, hey, look. Now, people would say the kids won't listen, but if you're a man, if you doing that mentorship, you will be able to understand and relate to the children and see their needs and meet them there, not just dictate and point to them.
Mhm.
We
That
need
Mhm.
part.
we need the youth to be able to understand they have people rallying for them. They have people on their side unifying them. not
Mhm.
ostracizing them, saying y'all horrible, y'all thugs, and y'all this. That was
Mhm.
done to my
Mhm.
generation. That was,
Mhm.
and now if we're not paying attention, what they're trying to do now, they're trying to figure out a solution to do something with the children, not because the children are bad, but because they know if these children really mobilize and organize in the right way, then guess what? All those plans they have going to be sunken. So we
Mhm.
have to continue to pour into our kids as men, even as women. You have to pour into your daughters. These, I see the girls, I see the young ladies out here. So
Mhm.
even as a man, I have a responsibility in that because I have a
Mhm.
daughter. I have daughters. So we have responsibilities and making sure that the people we're raising and we affect directly are showing that potential so that they can, in essence, spread it to the next person in the community. So my son
Mhm.
has the emotional regulation to know if someone step on this shoe, it's just a shoe. It ain't going. I don't care if it costs $1,000. It's just a shoe. So
Mhm.
that's what we got to get back to in our
Mhm.
community and really leading and teaching our children. Being
Yes, because
example, not telling them because they watch us. So you can
yeah,
tell them all you want to, but they see what you do, right?
fact.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we become what they quote unquote say you are a product of your environment. So we can't down the kids because the behavior is learned. Where did they get it from? They had to get it from somewhere. It had to be some kind of misguided energy that the kids saw in order to even become the way that they became because they didn't come into the world this way. They were shaped and formed into this image of the world itself. So you're definitely
Yes.
correct as far as us holding ourselves accountable with our actions and actually pouring into the kids and not negatively. You know what I mean? Even the words that you speak to your children, impacts them greatly. So that is definitely. And I mean, I am, to be honest with you, because I was just speaking upon like the female rappers of yesterday versus the ones of today, and how the message was pushed and it got across without being naked. It's
Yes.
like now, it's this thing where they say sex sells when if you're talented, that should not be the case. You should be able to put the message out there and people should be able to listen to you without you scantily clad and all through the neighborhood and all on the TV because this is what I mean, if you look at it now, this is what the generation of girls are doing, and that wasn't the case back in the day. We didn't dress like that back in the day. We were actually kind of in the tomboy era, you know what I mean? And we were still beautiful. You have to understand that it is something that is exuberated. Your light comes from within, not from without. And so, yeah, it's
It's
very surface level now, and we need to be more in depth with each other, understand and help our children understand the depth of what needs to be going on within themselves and what they need to be putting out to the world because our reputation is already bad, and we're trying to figure out why. But it's like at this point, there is no pointing any fingers. Like you said, we just need to come up with a solution and actually be able because a lot of people get offended. Like, how do you have these conversations without offending people? I'm pretty sure something I just say, oh, who was you judge? But it's not really judging. We have lost our integrity, our morals, and our values, and we have to get back to that state of being.
That's my
For
son just
sure.
spoke on about integrity. That's what he spoke on
Right, and he
integrity.
did, and I actually, because I think a lot of the audience, because we have a lot more people tuning in right now, and we are coming to the end of our segment, and I do want the president of Lash Out Fam and Mr. Tory Dukes to at least reiterate one more time why is it important for youth growth and development.
Youth growth and development is essential to the way we live our lives because we are tomorrow's future. We are what the world will become. So it is important for us to be positive so we can be one. We can society us as society can be one with each other without having to be fearful of someone that looks exactly like
For sure. For sure. And shout out, that's the president of Lash Out Fam. 17 years old, guys. 17. 17.
Hey, and I should mention, it's not online anymore because we took our music off. But the Cure the Violence album he had, we'll be putting it back online again. But he came out with that album when he was 11. So shout out to the prayers.
And Mr. Tory Dukes.
Once again, I can say that the world is riding on the youth. Without a solid foundation, as PJP said, we are everything of tomorrow. If we don't have each other to comfort, and we don't have each other to just simply just come up to and talk to each other about our problems, then it's gonna be very very bad in the future. If we don't stop this, if we don't get to a point of where we can come and unite, rejoice, come together, and just stop with all the violence, stop with all the craziness, it's just gonna be a very bad cycle, and that's really what we doing, stopping it.
And I would suggest a call to action for everyone that has stock in the youth. I would suggest that we all put our head in the ring for the solutions. I suggest that we all come together and try to, because if we don't take care of our community, guess what happens? They will. If we don't take care of our youth, they will. I was one that wasn't taken care of, and they took care of me for 23 years.
Mm,
So
mm,
we have to. If we don't do it, then the system would do it
mm-hmm.
more so than what's going on now. So what we have to do is unplug our children from this system and really give them the real and allow them to be who they are, because they're brilliant, bright. I mean, these kids, just look what they do. These kids are everything, and they talking about making laws to charge the family and the parents. No, we have to, as a community, we have to get ahead of this. Not just marching and all that. That's over with. It's real solution. That marching stuff and all that. Forgive me. These are my views, Mr. Lash. These my views. That marching stuff ain't nothing. We have to really get in the community and have measurable results in our community. We,
We
we can't
definitely
sit
do.
up and march. Yeah, we march. We've been marching our whole life. We've been marching our whole life. When will we start putting results into the things? And when I look over here and look over there and say, brother, we on the same page. And soon we go back to our neighborhood, we say, oh, forget that dude. He don't know what he's talking about. Instead of saying, man, what are you talking about, brother? How can we make this make sense together and create a unity, as you will? So
Yeah, but
that's
we
the
need to
page I'm on.
we need to have a weekly, not monthly, because I mean, at this point, we need to be seeing each other every day. I mean, but that's hard, especially with work. We need to have weekly meetings where we come together and actually put plans together and have goals. So we're going to execute these plans, like you say, and actually do the things that we say we're needed to do, because we know what needs to be done. It's just not being done. It's not that
Well,
we
I
don't.
want to thank you. I want to
Us so
thank
much
you,
to
Anthony.
understand.
I want to thank you, Anthony, the co-founder of Lash Out Fam, the president, and Mr. Tory Deuce for coming through Real Life Topics podcast and making people aware that the youth must get on top of things, and even when it comes to our music. So it is an honor. It is an honor and an admiration
Definitely.
that you guys came through on bigsradio.com, iGlobal Network, and Real Life Topics Podcast. Thank you guys so much for coming through. It's time to pay the bills on the commercial side, guys. Make sure you guys go to the Father's Day Blues Fest at Gary, Indiana. Miss Dinah Lynn Biggs is the host of that, and you guys do not want to miss that whole Father's Day special Saturday in Gary, Indiana at the Glen Theater. I'm just saying, guys. Also, the Enchantments is going to be in Griffin, Indiana, Sunday on Father's Day at 8 p.m. It's a tribute to Tina Turner, a tribute to the emotions. Get your tickets, guys. It's the Summer Soul Fest. Go to bigsradio.com. Make sure you guys tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. It's your girl, Stephanie's Godchild and Carmisha the Sunflower Soul. It's Real Life Topics Podcast. Okay, now that we off air, we are still live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and we still want to thank Lash Out fam. They still in the building. We just off air right now, but of course we are live on all platforms still. But I want to thank Lash Out fam for coming through, and I want to thank God. I want to thank God for the youth of Lash Out fam. You guys are so wonderful. Keep it up. Don't stop. Keep pushing that message so that we can save lives and we can save the youth, man. For real. Thank you guys so much for coming through.
Most definitely.
You on mute? Oh, I got it on mute. Yes, thank you so
Hello?
guys. Thank you so much for coming by. Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Did
We
you hear me the whole time when I was thanking you guys for coming through? Okay.
yes, we heard you. We just want to say thank you to both of you all in the platform. I watched you all for quite some time, and the platform you have built is quite extraordinary. And you all are powerful sisters. I appreciate you all and the work you're doing, and I thank you for the platform. Allowing us on your platform and trusting us on your platform. We appreciate that, and just be on the lookout for things coming up out of the camp. I'll let y'all know so y'all can help us out
I got a
in the
million and
world.
two ideas. Let me tell you. I'm with, so
She
we
got
got
a
we
me.
got to get the boys and the girls together too to help them understand to love and communicate and be a part of each other without it being this disarray.
I I can't be a co-host. I don't have no problem.
Yeah.
No, no problem with it. No problem with it. No
Well,
problem.
and you
You
also
you
know Real
too.
Life Topics Kids podcast is dropping too. So we have so many things. We have so many people lined up for them. We have a 10-year-old that's has a six-figure cupcake company, a 13
Oh,
year old that wrote a
introduce
couple
them to
books.
me.
So the youth is gonna be doing the same thing Real Life Topics podcast. So Lash Out fam gotta jump on board with that
Hey,
for
I think the
sure.
friends want to say something real quick.
All right now.
Okay, so Lash Out Fam is the acronym for loving and saving humanity on unity teamwork for all mankind.
Okay.
Again, loving and saving humanity on unity, teamwork for all mankind. Be on the lookout for the Chicago Special Edition tees, varsity jackets. Yeah, and we need y'all support on this because we will be sharing proceeds to violent prevention organization of our choice.
Okay. We with
For
it
sure.
all.
That's what's
Yes.
up.
Better together.
That's
Better
right.
together.
Family.
Let's come together. Unity is the key. And shout out to the youth. Lash Out fam. Thank you guys for coming through. We're going to have a part 2 coming soon. You guys have
Absolutely.
a great evening.
It's been a long time coming. Thank you
Yeah,
all.
yeah. It definitely have. Thank you guys for coming through. For
Peace and
sure.
blessings, y'all.
Peace.
Peace and
Blessings.
blessings. Peace, blessings, and
Have a good one,
prosperity.
President and Tori Duke. So nice to meet you guys.
Thanks. Thank you.
Nice to meet y'all as well. All
Yes.
right, y'all. Lash Out Fam on all platforms. Check us out. We coming.
Yes. Where could they find Lash Out fam at? On all
Well,
platforms?
well, well. We will be on all platforms next week. Like I said, we took our music down because we had some issues, some streaming issues, and we want to make sure we control our own finances, our own
Okay.
destiny, our own material that we wrote and things of that nature. So we're gonna be putting it back up, and we're gonna also have a direct to consumer purchase link as well. So our music gonna be back on all platforms soon.
But you can check you out. You on all platforms under Lash Out Fam, correct?
Yes, so it's Lash Out Fam Facebook, Mr. Lash Facebook, It's
Prince JP09 on Instagram.
it's LOF Business, Lash Out Fam, Facebook on Instagram. It's Lash Out Fam 24 on TikTok. If Lash Out Fam pops up, that's where we at.
That's right. That's right. It's only one Lash Out fam in the building, baby. That's all I'm
Hey,
saying. It's
hey,
only
that's
one.
it.
It's only
That's it.
one. It's
And we
only
love our
one.
city. We love our city. You know, we hope y'all come together with us for this next big thing we're about to do. And I really would like for you ladies to be a part of it. You know, with y'all broadcasting
Definitely,
and
say.
going.
Definitely
Yeah.
so. We in
Don't even
Chicago,
worry.
so Chicago
We
in the
here. What they
building.
say? We here. No worries.
Yes,
All
for
right.
sure. Thank you so much, guys, for coming through. Have a good evening.
You
For
too.
sure. But there you have it, guys. Lash Out fam in the building. I've been waiting a long time to push that youth, man. And it's such an honor to just come across the youth doing their thing.
We need to have a ball. We need to teach the kids how to dress up. Not the prom skit. We gonna real elegant. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
We gonna figure it out. And with the parents involved as well. We gonna figure this thing out. We need to get together and have more of those kinds of events to teach the kids etiquette and just like you say, integrity, morals, values, like all the things. It's gonna work out.
And
Just like
Miss Tanisha King, she said we need Black teachers with an agenda all come together and teach at an early age. We need private schools. Yeah, you're right. We do need more private schools. Because
I
a
mean,
lot
but
of us
let me shut up. Look, I just be wanting to say so much. I'm gonna be quiet.
we do need private schools. I mean, a lot of us went to private schools, you know. Did you go to a private
Well,
school?
I mean, because with the agenda being pushed, and I know it's very crazy to say this, but we need our own teaching our own because others, for some reason, just really don't understand us. It's like this stigma that people have in their minds about who we are as a people. So when it comes to actually operating with us, they really don't understand how to deal with us. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because we're human just like them. You know what I mean? We believe the same, and I mean, but I guess it's just the culture and the trauma and the things that we come from. We just cut a little different. So sometimes we need our own. I mean, because if you think about it, especially with the single parent society that we have now, when you have your child, a lot of parents have to go back to work, and in 6 weeks, your child is at a daycare with someone that they do not know. And the parent is the first teacher. So if the parent is the first teacher, and you as the parent are not involved in the child's first couple of 5 years of, within their life, who you think is teaching your child? You're basically teaching your child somebody to listen to you, to listen to sources outside of the household. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was saying, like, not tearing our people down, but sometimes, you can't build nothing upon a rocky foundation.
Mm-mm.
I mean, even a house. If you put a house on a rocky foundation, it's sure to crumble at some point. So that's what I mean by let's just start over, because somewhere we went wrong, and trying to pinpoint where we went wrong is going to keep us in a cycle of disarray versus just saying, you know what? Okay, it don't even matter what we went wrong. Let's just figure out how to do things right. Let's just start over.
How to fix it, how to rebuild it, how to bring back, put together the broken pieces.
Yeah. Yes. No, not even putting them. We can't even put them back together. Just start over. Let's build something new.
Yeah.
Leave that foundation, because the foundation was kind of set for us to be destroyed anyway. So we can't build upon that foundation. We already know that.
Right,
We
like
tried
Anthony
that.
said, 22 years of his life that they took, and so there you go.
But you got to think, Martin Luther King and them, they were young men. They weren't in their 20s. They were teenagers.
He
they
graduated
were young
from
men.
high school at 15, baby.
I'm just saying. So these were young men. They were the youth. Look how they carried themselves. You would think they was 30 years old. No, they were young men, and they had minds about
very young. I think Martin Luther King graduated from college at 18 or something.
They were young men.
Yep.
They were not older, and see, that's why they take the minds of the youth, because they know that those are your good years. That's you when you got so much strength and power behind you. So they take them, and then by the time you get 30 years old, when you done realize, oh man, I done messed up, and the world ain't what I thought it was. And not saying those are not your good years, but your most informative, the most impactful years that you can have as a male or even a woman is in those years. You know what I mean? So if you can have a growth mindset in your teenage years and it follows into your 20s, just imagine the person you will be in your 30s and on. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they were very wise men in their young 20s. You know what I mean? So we have to get our children back to that mode of being those type of men. They carry themselves with valor, respect. They say if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, and they weren't going. They
They
knew
wasn't
who
going
they
out.
were. They weren't trying to find themselves at 18, 19. They already knew who they was, and they knew what direction they was going in.
Yeah.
So we have to get our youth back to that, because to be honest with you, they have created a docile mind frame with the video games. Why? You know what I was thinking? Like, why don't they have video games? I mean, you know, even if it's something that we have to create to teach kids how to adult. You know what I mean? Maybe for the single parent households, put a game out there where them boys could learn how to talk to a man to cut some. You know what I'm saying? In the game, because it's all a simulation. Everything that they're doing is simulated. That's why you got Grand Theft Auto teaching people how to rob, steal, kill. You got war games. Why ain't nothing? Why you don't have positive kids for these games? You know, they're programming themselves with.
What they're just programmed into being programmed. So I'm just gonna leave a food for thought for everybody. And I'm gonna piggyback off with the co-founder of Lash Out Fam said. We need to call it's a call for action. It's a call for action. And we gotta make something happen. We gotta make something happen for our youth. Especially if you have the opportunity or the platform to build your community and the youth. We have to call action to the fake and the phonies, to the people that are not realizing or being a part of the problem instead of the solution. We have to call action. Our youth needs us. If we do not do it, who will do it for them? Are we going to just sit back and watch them go on down the drain? As the years so, we just going to let them self-destruct. And then we're not realizing, because I'm noticing a lot of people are just waking up for sales nowadays and not even realizing, like Lash Out Family, even the kid, even Tori said that. Even Tori said, man, it's the adults that's really, programming us to be out there bad.
I mean, it's the truth. If you are a product of your environment, what is the environment full of? You're going to be like the people that's around you. And to be honest with you, it's a trickle down effect from the generation before. You know, and my thing is, my food for thought of the day is living to your fullest potential. You have to, like, we settle for so much less than who we are, because a lot of the times we don't even know our worth. We don't understand who and what we come from. Man, if we understood who we were, or understand who we are, not who we were, if we understand who we are as a people and how we impact the world, it's not just here in the United States. This nation of people, of us here, we impact the world. If we understood the power that we possess, I don't think we will be wasting it. It's a lot of wasted time. Live to your fullest potential, whatever that may be. Do not settle. Whatever your heart tell your mind, you're called to do it, and don't let nobody stop you, especially if it's for the greater good.
That is for sure. That is for sure. Well, there you have it, guys. Food for thought. Youth growth and development is very important. Having mentors and just being mindful that things need to change. It's Real Life Topics Podcast. Next Thursday, Three Brothers No Filter will be in the building. It's the last Thursday of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So what other way but to end Men's Mental Health Month with Three Brothers No Filter? That's Life Coach Jeff, Unapologetic Noble, and Salah Brooks. Make sure you guys tune in next Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time. It's your girl, Stephanie's Godchild.
And the Sunflower Soul.
See you next Thursday.
My glasses keep sliding.